All right, so welcome to this video, guys. It's a completely different style. I know you're wondering. This guy's literally sat down, got my light box, got my books, got my flipping guru plant right next to me. But where do we start? Right, as much as you guys seem to get a lot of value and inspiration from my content, my vlogs, and stuff like that, I do think there is a layer of there's an extra layer for me to give, right? And I was having a conversation with my friend not too long ago. She was like, "You seem like you're not serious on social media." I know for some of you guys, you're gonna be like, "Whoa," right? Because you don't know me in real life, right? As much as like I'm joking around, playing around, I do think I'm a guy with a lot of value to offer. And for a long time, I've held back on offering that value to the world, and I'm trying to make a change, right? Trying to put myself in an uncomfortable position. If you watch my last video, you probably tell that it's completely different from what I'm normally doing, and I think it's always been a level of like, who are you to speak on these things, right? And for a long time, I've always classified who I am alongside money, right? And I was like, when I get to X amount, £1,000 every month, when I get to 10k per month, when I get to 30, when I get to 40, when I get to... And what I realized was, as time went on, I was always thinking I needed to get to the next thing before I was somewhat allowed to speak on just general stuff, general advice, give life advice. Um, Sorry, someone's texting me. Let me put my thing on DND. Um, but essentially, I've always thought, who am I to give advice on these things, right? I've not made it just yet. But the reality is there's a lot of people, right, a step behind me, a lot of people that look up to me to some extent, and a lot of people that require people as somewhat of a role model. Not saying I'm perfect or anything like that, but I know there's guys that have experienced what I've experienced growing up, and just seeing my journey and seeing the way I've maneuvered from, I don't know, like 2018 when I started this entire thing till now. I know it's inspired a lot of people, and just giving pure insight on like what the journey was like is something I really want to start doing a little bit more now as well. So that's the intention behind these style of videos. Now, in addition to that, getting good at speaking without stuttering, without pausing, and sort of articulating my thoughts as well as I can is another purpose of these videos. But for the first one, I'm going to talk about probably one of the best books I ever read that actually transformed my life, and it comes from one person, right? I never really grew up looking up to people. I think the way I was raised, my mom spoke so much life into me, somewhat played a factor into how delusional I am. She's always made me believe that I was somewhat better than every kid around me. And it kind of rubbed off onto me growing up. Like, I never thought anyone was better than me. Obviously, it had this bad sides to it, where I was somewhat of an egotistical, borderline narcissistic uh, human being, which I had to then work for and sort of find the middle ground of confidence and flipping arrogance, right? And just find that sweet spot in the middle, which I'd like to say I've done a bit of work on. But essentially, I never looked up to anyone, right? I never looked up to someone else as someone that I could look at and be like, oh my days, I want to be you so bad. Up until I met this man, right? And this man is a man that's dead. He's not even alive, right? But this guy influenced me so well. And for some of you guys, you might actually know this guy as well. But his name is Marcus Aurelius, right? He is a Stoic, uh, Greek philosopher, Roman flipping out, mate, Roman emperor, right? I'm just gonna read the back. So written in Greek by Roman emperor who was a philosopher without any intention of publication. The Meditation of Marcus Aurelius offers a remarkable series of challenging spiritual reflections and exercise flipping now. One second, I need a drink because what the fuck. Okay, there we go. An exercise developed as the emperor struggled to understand himself and make sense of the universe. While the meditations were composed to provide personal consolation and encouragement, Marcus Aurelius also created one of the greatest of all works of philosophy, a timeless collection that has been consulted and admired by statesmen, thinkers and readers throughout the centuries. That is what this book is, right? That's obviously the backbone of it. But for me, what this book really did was it stripped life back to what life was, right? Now I know for some people they're religious, for some they aren't. I'm religious as well, but in my journey with religion, being a Muslim, I've really struggled with something that I think relatability was one of the biggest things that I struggled with, and finding someone I can relate to. And alhamdulillah, like I've obviously gotten closer with my faith, and I found Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, someone I look up to as well. But prior to finally getting to that destination, this was one of the guys that really helped me, and is understanding what life as a stoic was, right? And I know for some people they hear the word stoic and like someone that has no emotions. It's actually the far opposite of that. Marcus was someone that was very emotional, and he understood his emotions very well. And me growing up as a kid, me growing up and through my entrepreneurship journey, I never understood my emotions as well. And that is one big thing about entrepreneurship and being successful. I'm not flipping crazy successful just yet, and I'm still in the process. But one thing that really transformed from me not actually finding any success on this journey to finding more success is my level of stripping life back to what it actually means. Now, for a lot of people, you're probably going to be like, "What does stripping life back to what it actually mean to you?" Obviously, I'll go through a few passages in this book, but to summarize what I got from this book and this man, it is understanding that life is just what life is. Now, for some people, they go into life thinking life is meant to be good or bad, or they're meant to be happy or sad. Where in actual reality, life gives you different scenarios, and it's down to what you make from those scenarios. Life gives you different opportunities to react in different ways, and it is stripping away that entitlement that life is meant to be a certain way, and just enjoying life for what it is, right? No one ever promised you happiness. No one ever promised you this happy ending, right? The journey is the only thing you're promised, and death. Okay, so living life with the hopes of things being always good or things being always happy is the wrong way to live life. And for a long time, I used to live life like that. I always used to be sad or complain about things because things didn't go my way, right? Things was hard, things wasn't easy. But the minute I was able to understand that I wasn't actually promised anything, like when we're not promised anything, you could watch this video and die right after it, right? And there's a beauty in that. It's understanding that life isn't promised. I wasn't promised anything, and all I can control is what I can control. And a lot of people ask me, how are you so like just locked in, and you don't get sad, you don't get stressed, you know? I do get stressed, but when I get stressed, I'm able to like snap out of it. But to the average eye, is like Kwam doesn't get stressed, or Kwam doesn't, because I stripped it back to life is just what life is, right? If things aren't going my way, I figure out ways to make it go my way. If things aren't working the way I want it to work, I figure out a way to make it work, right? Whereas like before I understood this concept, when things weren't going my way, I'd get emotional, right? I'd start to blame everything else, minus the fact that life will throw these curveballs, and it's on me to figure out what do I change to make it make sense in the long run, right? And that's what I got from this book, right? Let me go into one of the chapters, right? It goes through a bunch of different chapters, but one of the biggest chapters in book 4 or 5, book 5, and this one here is so profound to me, right? At the break of dawn, when you're reluctant to get up, have the thought ready in your mind. I don't know why I'm struggling to speak, bro. Let me actually drink this. 1 minute. Okay. At the break of dawn, when you're reluctant to get up, have this thought ready in your mind. I am getting up for a man's work. Do I still then resent it? If I am going out to do what I was born for, the purpose for which I was brought into the world? Or was I created to wrap myself in blankets and keep warm? But this is more pleasant. Were you then born for pleasure, or for feeling, not for action? Can you not see plants, birds, ants, spiders, bees, all doing their own work, each helping in their own way to order the world? And then, do you not want to do the work of a human being? Or do you not hurry to the demands of your own nature? That, it doesn't get simpler than that, boys. Everyone has a job to do. Everyone understands what they're meant to do day in, day out. But for some reason, you don't want to do what you're meant to do. Like, there's a purpose for all of us. And I think one of those, an accumulation of reading this book again more recently was one of the reasons why I was like, I need to create content that's aligned with what I know I'm meant to do. And making a lot of money is cool. Don't get it wrong. Like, making money is good. But there comes a point where you start searching for more meaning, right? And for me, it's positively adding value to people's lives, and I kind of accepted it. Like, just like a bee is meant to flipping create honey, snakes are meant to eat rats. I think something like that. I don't know. Cats are chased by dogs. Like, everyone has what their purpose is in life, right? There's a natural chain of order, and we all have a purpose, right? And you have something that you're meant to go do in your life, day in, day out. And you denying the world of your purest gift because you want to stay in bed, you want to be lazy, you don't want to do the work, you got tired, it's not working out, so you stress out, someone pissed you off, so you threw your toy out of pram. Honestly, is the worst way to live life. And if there's one message you're going to get from this, is understand life is what it is. In the simplest term, it is always going to be black and white. It's never personal. No one's out to get you. Nothing's not working because you're unlucky. Learn the right strategy, study from the right things, understand the right understand the gap and the effort and the time it takes to actually get very good at something, and be okay with that and actually do that thing over an extended period of time. Because if not, what a lot of people end up doing is they think it's going to happen overnight, and they forget the simple nature of life is life, right? Am I doing the right thing, and am I doing it long enough? And if you're not, that's when shit don't work, right? I just went on a tangent. This is my first one on these, right? Hopefully the next few that I create and film and post are better than these. But first time for everything, getting comfortable, sitting here and speaking at you guys, stuttering, drinking water, flipping peppermint tea. But anyways, hopefully you guys getting some value from that. Right? I'm gonna watch this back, upload it. I quite frankly don't care. I'm putting it out. Right? Good or shit. This is what I'm meant to do. Someone will have something to take from it. Wasn't perfect, but the next one's gonna be better. But yeah, bye guys.